This League One run-in kind of begins now. There are 2 episodes left of the regular season as things stand. We are in the playoffs. However, we are very close to being out of the playoffs with teams below us with games in hand. All we can do is keep our tally ticking over. We've drawn as many games as we've won so far this season. We haven't lost many, but keep not being able to turn those 1-pointers into 3-pointers, and it's probably the difference between us and Charlton in the league position, really. Hopefully, we can get ourselves slightly higher in the table, or at least consolidate, pull further away from those below us by the end of today. We will be playing Blackpool, who are below us, and challenging in today's episode. Shrewsbury at home and probably Stevenage at home will be the 2 that we sim either end, bookending the 3 middle games, Blackpool, Swindon and Northampton. Saying thank you to those of you on the board behind me again today. Thank you to Deck. Also saying thank you to Matthew and to Paul for your continued support in the comment section. Tar very much. Do keep those comments coming with your match day questions, of course. The pre-match press conference will come to you in a moment. 4-1-4-1 for Shrewsbury. 9th place in the league, trying to chase the playoffs, having a decent go at it. Won 3 of their last 5, but hopefully won't be a good enough match for us on this particular match day, which they're not. Marcus Brown and Yengi with the goals. Brown was spectacular yesterday. Yengi scored a hat-trick yesterday. Peterborough picked up a win, which is going to keep them hot on our heels. We are actually closing in a little bit on the top 2, but they do still have games in hand, as do those below us. But a 5-point gap down now to Blackpool. But it is Blackpool that we play next, so things aren't going to get any easier. We've got some players that are like, thanks for playing me. Some players that are like, I want to play more. And some that just quite frankly are unhappy for the sake of being unhappy, I think, at this particular moment in time. The first press conference question comes your way from Ben. It says, with the rumour mill saying that you're letting the likes of Jordan Cousins, Jack Grimmer and Danny Andrew go this summer, will it be hard to find adequate or even better leaders if you get to the Championship? I think regardless of whether we get promoted, it's always important to have those older statesmen in the squad. And we will probably, with the influx of young players coming through from the academy so far, we will look to replace Cousins, Grimmer and Danny Andrew with equally experienced players when the summer transfer window arrives. Whether that's because we're in the Championship and we want that experience to keep us up, or whether that's because we're still in League One and we want that experience to help us get up, only time will tell. Blackpool must have had a game midweek in the Cup, probably the Bristol Street Motors trophy, because they are tired as a starting 11. They do have some options on the bench, but those options are no better than what's currently in the starting lineup. Kouassi up top and Virtue in the midfield, Connolly in the defence and Grimshaw in goal, the full fit players. They have not won in their last 5 games, 3 defeats and 2 draws. The opportunity perhaps to earn a point or more here. Henderson is unfit, so he will come out for Jordan Cousins, who's been continually impressing actually in the latter stages of this season, so much so that I'm half inclined to offer him a new contract, but I don't think I will still. Regardless of his good performances, I still feel like he's somewhere where we can improve this team to get someone in that's going to play even better. Let's put Lee in for Thomas at the moment. If you can see their stats below me though, the fact that Lee is 66 and Thomas is only 65 doesn't really make much sense. Thomas is quicker, significantly better in the shot, significantly better at defending, significantly better physical, the same passing wise. He's only dribbling where Lee is better, and apparently he's higher rated. Okay, mate. Come on then. Let's get a dub, please. Yengi on the score sheet again would be lovely. Brown was electric yesterday. The catalyst in a number of positive moves for us. Rafferty's in behind here with a great run. We'll look for the men in the middle, and Liam Lee was there. Can Berry get to that first? No. Kouassi wins the header. Can Cousins get to that first? Yes. But Morgan takes it straight off Marcus Brown, and Cousins has won it back again. It was Jordan Cousins winning the ball back that led to us taking the lead late on against Rotherham yesterday. And he's done so again here today, but unfortunately it might be us losing the potential parity in the scoreline. They're on the counter-attack here. And inside, Zeno can't get there. Kouassi's effort knocks Stevens off his feet. But keeping it out is the goalkeeper. Morgan delivers. Connolly brings it down. Oh, and the quality of the finish is sensational from the centre-back. Who thought their central defender could do that? Boos around the ground. I don't really know why. Because, quite frankly, that was applaud-worthy. Or applause-worthy. Great touch. And the finish, too. Out of this world from a centre-back. That touch. My God, talk about goal of the season. We get to that with Cousins? No. We get to this with Nurse? No. Kouassi. I don't know why Diabate's lunged in there. Didn't press anything. Virtue to Gabriel. Looking dangerous again here, Blackpool. Be a big defeat for us if Blackpool are able to hold on to this lead or extend it and ensure themselves 3 points. And they very nearly did extend it. Stevens with the stop. Try and go up the other end of the pitch if we can and create something. Boos again around the ground. I really feel like the boos are unwarranted. Brophy on the run. That's Liam Lee. He's held the ball up nicely. And Brophy again. Out of his feet. Brophy delivers a cross. And what a cross. Luke Berry's there. That's a stunning goal. Cambridge back level in the 33rd minute. And it's all about the cross. Casey inside. And Joseph. William Brophy. He's relentless, James Brophy. Never stops running. Literally ever. Spread this out wide to the fullback. Of course, Brophy's going to make that run down the line. We need the support. George Nurse, how's your delivery? Oh, it's teasing! It's all the way across. Just couldn't get anyone on the end of it in an amber and black shirt. It just needed a toe poke, and surely it was over the line for a second goal and potentially a game winner for the home side here. Oh, desperate to find a winning goal against the playoff rival to give us a little bit of breathing room in those top few spots. Getting one more goal could be huge for our season here. And Yengi is on the run. And he'll bring this down on his chest. And he's beaten one defender, but had to use an arm to do so. Thompson struggled to get it under control, but did eventually do so. Danger. Real danger. Kouassi blocked. Casey and Lyons can't afford to concede a goal here. Oh, just run off the pitch with it, and it's a Blackpool corner. No, please. Gelly for Norburn. Get up, George. Nurse heads away well. Referee, blow your whistle, please. Come on. Digby and away. It will be 1-1, but that was a nervy end. An unnecessarily nervy end, but a nervy end nonetheless. And it's a point only. The fans keep booing, but I just don't see the reason to need to be completely honest. We're still very much in the playoffs and fighting hard to close down on those above us. 6 points only the gap to Charlton at the moment. Yes, they've got 2 games in hand, but points on the board can't be lost. Games in hand can be. It's the way you always look at it. Swindon are who we have next. Swindon, Northampton and Stevenage. Do I sim something different other than Stevenage? Swindon, Northampton, Stevenage. Stevenage 16th. Swindon, Northampton in the relegation zone. Swindon's an away game though, so alright. We'll maybe sim Northampton and play Stevenage, because they're both home games, but we will definitely play Swindon. Swindon in the relegation zone, and rightly so, really, considering the quality or lack thereof in the squad. We had them in the Cup last year and got a comfortable... No, they forced a replay against us in the Cup, didn't they, Swindon? I'm misremembering that. We might have had them in the Cup both years, but... Actually, did we have Swindon in the FA Cup this year? And then we went out on pens, didn't we? Yes, 6-5. So a little bit of payback might be nice. I think we had them in the Cup last year as well and got a comfortable victory. That's what I'm remembering. But this time around, they are, well, getting the better of us in the Cup, but hopefully not in the league. Clarkson and Lee have both expressed their dismay at the lack of first-team opportunities. But quite frankly... I called them up from the youth system and the game gave them an important squad role. Why would I give a youth player that's just got promoted and not played a single first team game an important squad role? As such, they're now desperately unhappy with the lack of first team football then not getting and trying to force a move. So that'll be something we keep an eye on moving forward with regards to first team contracts. But George Thomas has been good enough to warrant starting ahead of Lee, and James Brophy has been good enough to warrant starting ahead of Clarkson. So they don't really have a case to argue, to be completely honest. The 11 is the 11 at the moment, and Diabate and Zeno creating quite the partnership. Zach Jules is finding it hard to break back into the starting lineup, but maybe one of the defenders will make a mistake today. I hope they don't, but perhaps they will. Nurse, Brophy. Oh, bye! James Brophy on his bike and away. What a goal this would be. Or perhaps an assist. Yengi! Oh, good save by Bycroft. I don't know why Brophy took a first touch like that. I didn't ask for a touch like that, but I'm glad he did, because that was fantastic. Yengi's header, Bycroft saves again. In flashbacks to the league, the FA Cup game again. We'll nod this down with Zeno, and it's centre-back to centre-back. Referee says no foul. Now Glatzel could counter-attack here. Paul Glatzel, the former Liverpool youngster, I believe it is. They have the worst defensive record in the league, Swindon Town, with 60 goals conceded in 36 games, averaging nearly 2 a game. Let's hope that we can score a couple then, shall we? What are you doing, Diabate? Woo! We said we thought the defenders might make a mistake today. There it was. Delivered in and headed away by Nurse. Now, McEachran. George McEachran into Johnson. And short to Aguiar. And Henderson will have that, thank you very much. Not sure what to do with Kirk Henderson next season. He's similarly rated to Jordan Cousins at the minute. But I can't help but feel like we kind of need a bit more quality in that role than Kirk currently offers. It might be a case of him playing a bit part role next year, or getting that year's loan experience and coming back and then taking that first team role the year after. Might be looking for one of those experienced players we were talking about in the last episode, replacing those players, or in the last question, replacing those players that are potentially leaving on a free. Willing, Kirk. Henderson does well. Brown will look to get down the line. Brophy is at the back post, and at the minute, very much unmarked. Oh, Rafferty's won it back. It was a terrible pass. Rafferty will cut it back, looking for Yengi. Hits it early first time. Keeper and defender, a mixture of the two, get rid of it. And I think that deflected off a Cambridge player. It did not. It was just a slashed clearance. We'll try and keep the pressure on. We're going to score in a minute. Sing the fans. Not sure whether it's our fans or their fans, to be completely honest, but we might be scoring in a minute. If this attack works well for us. Thomas, Yengi, Berry. Berry round the corner. Berry still going. Luke Berry in the box. Oh! So close to an own goal from the defensive line. Berry will deliver now, and George Thomas is underneath. A whack way underneath it. These crosses, these corners keep going to George Thomas, so I'm going to put a lot more power on it. It's going to go towards Zeno now. Still nowhere near going in. Henderson with a decent header. And Kirk Henderson again. Kirk Henderson's shot deflected. And play on. What can you do sometimes? Well in. George Nurse. Brophy finds Lee. Lee will look for Brophy again. It's Yengi that the ball's gone to. But Yengi's onside here and will beat his man. Yengi might just have won it for Cambridge. The ball wasn't intended for him. Turns out you should just give him the ball whenever you can, because Kusini Yengi scores goals. And crucially for us at the moment, wins us games as well. A laboured win against relegation-threatened Swindon Town, but vitally for us, it was the 3 points. We had to wait until late. It was a game, as you can see from the stats, that we dominated and deserved the win from. Peterborough win as well, which is good for them in the fight for the playoffs. Didn't see any other results from fellow playoff chasing sides. We are still in 4th. And, dare I say it, 4 points off the automatic promotion spots as Charlton drop more points. Northampton next. On the horizon, day 2, still in the relegation zone with Swindon, as we will have question 2 from the press conference comes in from Arctic, says fans have noticed a lot of mistakes in the back which are costing you results and valuable points. Fair point. Is there a training plan in place for improving and solving those mistakes, or are there considerations to potentially sign a new defender in the coming summer transfer window? We are looking to sign defenders in the coming transfer window. We're always looking to improve the squad. We did make a tactical tweak with regards to backline in the last episode, and since doing so, actually we've seen the amount of goals we concede go down. A 0-0 against Wigan, a 1-0 against Rotherham, back-to-back clean sheets, only the one against Shrewsbury, only the one against Blackpool, and then a clean sheet again against Swindon. So it seems that Zach Jules is the weak link in the defensive line, and Zeno and Diabate are the go-to defensive partnership to keep us in games and keep us winning games, crucially. But we shall wait and see how things progress throughout the remainder of the season, and then we will have to give a big think as to what happens with the defensive line, especially if we end up getting promoted. An interesting development. Liam Lee has had a bid come in for him from one of the clubs that we have a working relationship with, Swansea City. He's valued at 1.6. They have bid 1.9. I'd be curious to know where Swansea are in the league above, how their season is going, and what other options they have in that cam role. Currently, Swansea City sit mid-table in the Championship, so they're not going to be getting relegated this season. Who else they have in that cam spot is a question I'd be very curious to know the answer to. At the minute, Jack Lancaster, who they signed from us, who's not played for them in the FA Cup. Jamie Patterson at 71 rated, and Oliver Cooper at 72. Jack, I imagine, has played quite a few league games for them, but do they need Liam Lee? I think, quite frankly, I could justify rejecting or negotiating a significant bid. If they'll pay over 2.3, then I will let him go. He hasn't lit the world alight when playing in the first team, Liam Lee. So I would be open to the move. George Thomas has been just as good, but it doesn't hurt to try and maximise a potential sale value. But Swansea is saying no. I'm not just going to let him go for just above valuation. I'm happy enough with how that negotiation went. If the original bid was like 2.1, then maybe I would have considered accepting. Or if Liam Lee was perhaps 67, 68, 69 rated, then we probably would have been in a position to understandably get the deal done. But at the moment, he's second choice for me. He would be fourth choice at Swansea. We have ambitions of being in the same division as Swansea next year. I think I'm well within my rights of trying to just maximise a financial deal, and if Swansea don't want to pay it outside of a transfer window, then Swansea don't pay it. Northampton are in the relegation zone as it stands, so we will sim this. You can see Epare still up top for them. Sam Hoskins still on the left for them. How they've managed to keep hold of Sam Hoskins, I've absolutely no idea. Hopefully we get a result here. Yes we do, thanks to Yengi grabbing a brace. 2 goals for him, 1 for Luke Berry. The late 78th minute winner gives us another set of 3 points. Huddersfield win. Charlton, I think, might have just lost the game there if I glanced at that correctly. They did. Charlton are now out of the automatic promotion spots and are throwing away their promotion charge. We are 3 points off second now. But continually, those teams around us have 1, if not 2, games in hand. If not 3 in Wickham's example there on 56 points. We need to keep the winning run going. And up next to do that will be Stevenage. Matchday then against Stevenage Borough. Lost 3 of their last 5, won the other 2, so they don't tend to draw, it seems. We've obviously been getting quite a few draws this season, but we'd certainly like to add another W for ourselves. The narrow 4-1-2-1-2 for them as ever. Crucially, maybe we give Liam Lee a game here to show him that we value his place in the squad and that opportunities do lie in the first team for him in the future if his performances improve. Just because he's got good in-game potential isn't necessarily a reason to definitely keep him. If he's not performing, it would be the realistic thing to let him go. But he hasn't had enough of an opportunity, really, I don't feel, to adequately perform. But at the same time, quite frankly, he'd be fourth choice at Swansea. Lancaster's not played that much. It wouldn't be a move that he would take, I don't think. So let's get 3 points against Stevenage and see what happens with the league table from there. There he leaves the man for dead. Yengi, Lee, he's in, he's on. Liam Lee breaking in on goal. Liam Lee! Straight at the goalkeeper. Ashby Hammond will not have a simpler save to make today. Given the opportunity, Liam Lee, so far, not grasping it. And Berry, if Yengi can get around the corner there, he is in. In he is. Score he doesn't. Good save by Ashby Hammond. Corner though for Cambridge. Berry getting a rightful booking for a terrible tackle that I put in earlier on in the game. Berry will deliver. Liam Lee's underneath. Cleared by Thompson. And then fully by the defender, but we'll get it back in again. Can Berry find Yengi at the back post? No, only the keeper. Unconvincing clearance from him, but a clearance is something they have been able to finally build. Rafferty quickly with Berry, looking for Yengi. Yengi and Brown quickly. Liam Lee. Good save by Ashby Hammond. We're pressing now, trying to turn the screw and find the goal to go in front. Berry delivers. It's poor. Henderson will nod this back across though. And Marcus Brown. Oh, Smith has done well. Really well. Thompson in the box. Zeno. Stands firm, Zeno. Ibsen Rossi, as he has done throughout his career at Cambridge United in this save. Adam Clarkson off the bench. He's not rapid, Adam, but he might have just enough pace. It's his dribbling that's his standout stat. It's Jordan Cousins in the box. And he's just won it for us, probably, in the 66th minute. I made 4 changes in my midfield, and 3 of them were involved in that move. Jordan Cousins off the bench, Clarkson off the bench, George Thomas off the bench. Ball in the net. Nice touch by Butler. Nice run by Butler. Rafferty chugging away, trying to get back. Hemmings delivers the ball. Barnsley have just taken a 2-1 lead in their game, which will keep them above us and in the automatic promotion spots. Is he onside here? The referee and the linesman say yes. What a block by George Nurse. And what a challenge by Zeno. He had to stretch and reach to get there. He just, quite frankly, had to make that challenge and make it legally, and did so. And what a ping from Clarkson. Cousins lifts it straight into the face of the man stood next to him, but we keep possession nonetheless. And Brown is there still. Down the line. Yengi could be available in the middle. Yengi is available in the middle. Yengi won't get there. Well in, Brown. Thomas. Oh, turns the man. Advantage played. We will play on and then give the ball away. But they've taken it out of play for a throw there. And hopefully we can see this one through. It's only a narrow scoreline. We'll just look to play the ball about. Please don't add too much on, ref. 2 minutes. Clarkson. Excellent dribbling to keep hold of it. Oh, it's his best attribute, and it's his best attribute by a mile, but he doesn't have great strength to hold on to it there. And here's Kane Hemmings now, and forward comes Stevenage. Roberts with the option out wide. We're forcing them backwards and sideways, and hopefully the referee sees that as a sign to end the game, which he does. The wins are starting to trickle in now. They're not massive victories. A couple of 1-0ers. You take anything at this stage of the season. Peterborough lose again. Blackpool win. Charlton, I didn't see their result. Charlton have dropped yet more points. We are up into 3rd. Still, everyone around us, though, has more games to play. We are 8 points inside the playoffs, but that could lessen, obviously, when other teams play and presumably get points in their games in hand. Lee's saying he's grateful for the game. You weren't great though, Liam, if I'm honest. George Thomas does more. Just, it's an easy decision to keep Lee out of the starting lineup at the moment. Tomorrow, we have the season finale. 4 wins today. What a day. Absolutely superb. Bristol Rovers, Oxford United, Sheffield Wednesday, Peterborough United, Exeter and Grimsby. 6 games to go. I would be tempted to split that into 2 and play every single remaining game to ensure that wherever we end up this season, I've had a proper say in it. I think that's probably what we will look to do. So, with everything still potentially on the line, I'll ensure that I'm the one that decides where we finish. It might work against us. It probably will, but I'll have the final say. Join me tomorrow for what then will be the penultimate league regular league fixture episode. We'll also ask you tomorrow, I'll even ask you today, those that make it all the way to the end. Do let me know if you have any Player of the Year ideas at the moment. I'll mention it right at the very beginning of the next episode, but Player of the Year is something we need to start thinking about because we're getting close to the end of the season. Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, Fans Player of the Year, Most Improved, etc, etc. I'll mention it right at the very beginning of the next episode, but for now, that's all for today. We're in third.